Hello everyone and welcome to the bosqueenet adventure. My name's Jeff and tonight we are out on a bike packing adventure. I'm not quite to the campsite yet. We still have about 50 yards to go. I gotta get up this hill with the bike and all my equipment. For those of you who are subscribers to my channel, this area may seem a little familiar. Right up this hill, this is where we do some hammock camping. Though it's been over 6 months, for the past 6 months, it's been winter time and this place usually is buried in snow and I just can't get to it. However, as you can see, all the snow is gone except for a little bit on the road down below. But I've got to get the bike, backpack, and everything all up this hill. So bear with me for just a moment. I'm going to get everything up the hill and then start setting up camp. See you up there. Experience tells me take 2 trips and take a load off the bike. It makes it a whole lot easier. No one has been up here since I was here last. This is all wood that I processed last year. I love coming up here because of these fantastic views. Where I'm standing right now is like the perfect spot to put a hammock and enjoy these views. So that's why I'm here tonight. Nothing beats that. That is fantastic. I am going to forego setting up the hammock for right now. It just consumes all the space underneath the tarp, and I don't need it till tonight. Later tonight. Once I get the table all set up, I think I am going to kind of clean all this up here. There's all kinds of like big rocks and everything that I want to just get out of the way, just so that I don't trip on them during the night. Once again, I have my mesh fire pit. This thing is fantastic. There is a slight breeze coming off the mountains, and as the wind races across that snow, it definitely cools it down a bit. So this area certainly is air conditioned. I decided to do just a little bit of scouting around. Check out this view. Got that right there. We keep going this way just a little bit. Like, oh my goodness. This is so cool up here. I'm loving this. I think that's settled in for now. 47.6. All right. Enough relaxing, enough fiddling about. Time to get some dinner on. We want our water to stay warm, so put it in the koozie. A container full of rice. We're just going to put that right there and just let that just kind of warm up a little bit. It's not going to get hot, but it will get warm. What we're making tonight is some Indian-inspired buttered chicken. This is an absolute tasty dish to have out at camp. So in here, I have store-bought Indian-inspired buttered chicken. This stuff's really good. To get all this going, we need to brown up our chicken. All right, now that our chicken is thoroughly cooked through, which is important, time to turn down the heat and throw in the sauce. I think what I'm going to do is thin this out just a little bit, just so I can get it to simmer for just a little bit longer. That way it gives the chicken enough time to soak in all those flavors. And just set the stove down there real quick. Bring out our plate. Grab our rice. Just like that. Kind of break that up. The warm sauce is going to just warm that rice back up. I didn't show you this, but also in that hot water, I'm warming up some green beans. Oh yeah, nice and hot. That looks absolutely excellent. Let's dive in. Go ahead and take a good bite here. Check that out. Bon appetit. Oh my goodness, that is so good. I mean, talk about a lot of flavor. Really excellent. Really? Let's see here. Let's try that one to begin with. The just-in-case bag. not going to be in the way there. That works out quite perfect. There's definitely a dominant wind tonight. I'm just happy it's not blowing into my face. Now, I do have a treat for this evening. You saw Mandy and I bring this one with us while we did our 2-day adventure this past summer. This is the Backpacker's Pantry Blueberry and Peach Crisp. This was fantastic, right? So the big pieces of peach, blueberries, kind of granola crisp in there. This is a really good one. All right. While we wait for the water to boil, I have a story for you all. About a month ago, Mandy and I witnessed a hit-and-run accident. It was all kinds of strange to begin with, right? The way that the accident occurred, I mean, like, it was all slow-moving traffic. I mean, top speed was maybe 5 miles an hour, so it was really slow. However, the car that caused the accident, now, I have no clue what they were doing, but they were trying to pass the vehicle that they hit on the left side where there wasn't any lane. Now, after the crash occurred, and since I saw everything, I motioned to both vehicles like, hey, why don't we pull over here? It was a nice, safe area, and we'll exchange all the information. Fortunately, unfortunately, the vehicle that got hit pulled over with me, but the vehicle that caused the accident, took the opportunity, hit the gas, and went up the street. So, we both pulled back into traffic, and ironically enough, this other vehicle got stopped by the next traffic light. Now, the vehicle that got hit, they pulled up behind the vehicle that hit them, got the license plate number, and proceeded to call the police. I happen to be now next to the vehicle that hit the other one. I rolled down my window, motioned to the individual, and was like, hey, are you aware that you hit the vehicle behind you? And oh my goodness, the profanity that ensued. Now, there were all kinds of F-bombs being dropped, and the driver of the vehicle insisted that the other vehicle had caused the accident. Now, I knew this wasn't the case because I had witnessed the accident, but it was also kind of a head-scratcher, like, hey, if somebody hit me, I wouldn't have been the one fleeing the scene. Now, as I said, we're all stopped at the intersection, the light turns green, and the offending vehicle, once again, zoom, takes off. So I motioned once again over to the vehicle that got hit and said, hey, let me give you my phone number. You're obviously on the phone right now with the police. You have their license plate and everything else. Let me give you my phone number, and I'll be a witness to the accident. The next day, the police, they give me a call. I give them my statement. told him exactly what had happened, how the offending vehicle attempted to pass the other vehicle on the left, where there was no lane or road to begin with, and ended up hitting the vehicle. And in addition to that, they had fled the scene, even though we had spoken and I had informed them, hey, you hit the other vehicle. Apparently, the driver of the car that hit the other had informed the police that they didn't know that they had hit another vehicle. So when I had that information that, hey, at the traffic light, we actually spoke with them and said, hey, you hit the car behind you. The police officer did a, interesting. So after speaking with the police officer, I thought for sure, okay, all's done. I provided the information. We're good. Well, apparently, the saga was not over yet. This morning, I was contacted by an insurance adjuster to provide insight to the accident. I shared with the insurance adjuster everything that I just recounted to you and to the police officer. And I informed the insurance adjuster that there was a police report on this incident. However, he did want to hear the story from me. What I found interesting, though, is that as I shared the details of the incident, the insurance adjuster kept on, probing into, what exactly did I see? How could have this person gotten over there? And what my relation vehicle-wise to the incident was. I get it. Due diligence, for sure. Now, just like with the police officer, I informed the insurance adjuster that I had spoken with both parties. And this is where he became very interested. He asked, so on the day of the incident, you actually spoke with both parties? And I said, yes, I did. I spoke with the vehicle that got hit, gave him my phone number, told him I could be a witness to the accident, and that I had also spoken with the vehicle that caused the accident at the traffic light where they cussed me out. Because he was so interested, I started getting an inkling I wonder if shenanigans are being played here. So I just straight up asked him, so are you calling in behalf of the sedan that was hit or the SUV that did the hitting? And he absolutely said, oh, I'm calling in behalf of the SUV. And that's again when the insurance adjuster began to tell me that the SUV claimed that they didn't know that they hit a single person. So they were trying to reconcile why there was this other insurance company filing a claim against the SUV stating that the SUV had hit them. Because apparently the SUV driver, they filed their own separate claim stating, I don't know what happened. I came out of the shopping center and my car was like this. So I have found this saga incredibly amusing, that even though there was a police report and the officer went and did their due diligence, interviewed each party, inspected the vehicles, and got the statement from me, the individual that caused the accident still had the gall to even attempt to file what was clearly a fraudulent insurance claim. Just absolutely bizarre. So now I'm hoping that the saga is over, I can put this to bed, and I could just be done with it. Has anything like this ever happened to you all? Because on a scale of weird to bizarre, this was super crazy. do the spill test. And I'm going to go put that in the sleeping bag, and it will do its thing for the next half an hour. All right. Treat time. Still very warm. Oh yeah. This is going to be super amazing. Give it a good stir. I guess it does kind of look like oatmeal, but it's not. This is a real tasty treat. Let's dive in. Got some blueberries in the bite. Very good. One of the big old peaches. This is such a tasty treat. But I bet if you really wanted to, you could have this for breakfast too. That valve is super sensitive. There we go. All right, everyone. Well, I've decided I'm going to let the fire just die down now. It is 10 till 10, and I have just been having an absolute great evening. Warm fire. The wind is completely, calmed down. It is just still and quiet up here. As soon as the sun went down and it started getting dark, even the birds and the squirrels, they've all decided to go to bed. So there's not a whole lot of noise out here right now. An occasional airplane maybe, but that's about it. If you've made it this far into the video and you like the content that I'm providing and you want to support the bosqueenet adventure, be sure to like, and if you're not a subscriber yet, consider subscribing. It would really help the channel. Tomorrow morning we're going to keep breakfast pretty simple. Definitely going to make some hot chocolate. I checked the temperature. It's still sitting at about 45 degrees. That's probably going to dip just a little bit lower tonight. But yeah, in the morning, hot chocolate, have a couple of pastries. I'm going to enjoy these stellar views once again in the morning. It is going to be awesome. But until then, like I said, fire's dying out. I want to thank you all once again for joining me. We'll see you all in the morning. Good night now. lower that in. Well, it looks like the little bit of rain has passed us by. I'm going to start getting everything situated. Just kind of put all the sleeping bag away. Should anything else decide to come on in. But I'm going to hop to it. We'll make ourselves some hot chocolate and have some pastries here in just a moment. $37. The underquilt did a fantastic job last night keeping the breeze out. It does its job really well. Those got a little flattened. What I have this morning is some pain chocolat. Yum. The birds are definitely awake now. They're just chirping away. Time for the smushed one. I gotta provide just another look at that peak. That is pretty dang awesome. There's a couple of dark clouds still out there, but hopefully I stay dry on the ride down the mountain. I've cleaned up camp, got the backpack on, and the bike is all packed. I'm gonna get it down the hill now. Now that the bike is officially down the hill, I think we'll go ahead and do our sign-off. I want to thank you all for joining me on this adventure. I have had an absolute awesome time. The views were absolutely spectacular. I had some great eats, had some excellent treats, and I always enjoy your company. If you like the content that I'm providing, be sure to like and subscribe. It would really help the channel. And if you have any comments, questions, concerns, or hey, you're just interested in a piece of gear that I used on this adventure, be sure to hit me up down in the comment section below. I always look forward to hearing from you. I want to thank you once again for joining me on this adventure. We'll see you next time. Bye now.